Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Bookbuds.
And today, Joe is going to do a book blast of the Time Quintet series.
Yes, by Madeleine L'Engle. Now this is one of my favorite series. I really love this series. It's so close to my heart. I read the first one when I was younger, A Wrinkle in Time. And then, you know, as a kid, I feel like I didn't appreciate it as much. I think a lot went over my head. Mm-hmm. It's kind of advanced. I don't know. It's a special kind of book. But then...
We have some serious screaming going on. We apologize. There's like band camp happening over there.
Band camp. One time at band camp? Yeah. So recently my friend Richard, he was reading this book a couple of years ago, and he kind of like got me back into the series. And he had read more than just the first book, and he was raving about it. So I was like, I got to get back into this.
I've only read the first one myself, but I did read it as an adult. So I don't know why it didn't come up when I was a kid. I didn't read it then. But
Interesting.
I feel like I need to read the others. You've really enjoyed them.
I really enjoyed them, and I will tell you why.
I'm sure you will.
This series is so unique. Like, it blends fantasy, science fiction, religion, philosophy. Like, there's just so much involved, and I think that the author did such an amazing job at like introducing you to like different concepts and things that you wouldn't normally read, and things that I really wouldn't normally read myself. So it's kind of cool. It opened up a few doors.
Did you have a favorite out of the 5?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that, and I had something prepared. I think I'm going to have to go with the obvious just because it brings back so much nostalgia from like my childhood, A Wrinkle in Time. And this book starts with the best line. It starts with, "It was a dark and stormy night." And then it goes on from there. And I think I've mentioned that before, but I just love it. It has a really awesome feel to it. And I don't know why, but I'm just so attracted to like books that were written like in the 70s and like the 80s that are like kind of like have that old-fashioned appeal. And this is like a fairy tale-ish kind of a story. I just love it so much. So I'm not going to go too much into A Wrinkle in Time because, you know, there's that popular movie, and I think most people have read this book. But it's cool. It has like a telepathic snake called Louise the Larger. There's 3 like witch-like characters. And there's like some darker characters, and it is fun. They travel to different planets, so I would definitely start with A Wrinkle in Time.
Do you not need to start with The Wrinkle in Time? Like, you can read them out of order?
Okay, so good question. The first 3 books have the same characters that appear in A Wrinkle in Time, and then they disappear.
Oh.
There are some relations, like it doesn't completely go in another direction, but they're not in the last couple of books.
Interesting.
I don't think you'd have to start with the first one.
Okay. Interesting.
But if you do, go 1, 2, 3.
Noted.
All right, so next up we have A Wind in the Door, which also has Charles Wallace and Meg in there. And what happens is Charles Wallace sees a dragon in the vegetable garden and falls deathly ill. And then this is a little out there, like Meg and Calvin from the first book, they have to find a way to go inside Charles Wallace's body and defeat the ecthroi.
Okay.
That are like
like
threatening all of like society.
Made me think of the Magic School Bus TV show, and the school bus shrinks down and goes inside the body to explore science.
It's very sciencey, but it's so cool.
Awesome.
Okay, next in the series is A Swiftly Tilting Planet. Now this we find Meg and Charles Wallace a little bit older. Meg is expecting her first child, and Charles Wallace is like 15 now. Okay, and this is like another story where they have to like save the world from like the evil underlord or something like that, right? But there's something cool in this book. It's called Kithing, and Meg is able to kithe and kind of like telepathically link to her brother.
Awesome.
So she's home pregnant, in bed, with her dog, I think, and she like puts her hand on the dog and like kind of like helps the process along. Like
as a grounding or something?
Yeah. And then she's just kind of like on the adventure with him, even though she's home pregnant.
Interesting.
And there's a unicorn, and he rides the unicorn. This is amazing.
Fantastic. Joe loves it.
You have to read this.
I'm going to read it.
Love it all. Do you guys like this series? Has anybody out there read this series and love it as much as I do?
I'm curious if anybody's gotten past book 1, because that seems to be the main thing. People read the first book. Has anybody else read the rest other than Joe and his buddy?
I want to know. Let us know. All right, so the next book in this series is Many Waters, and this has to do with Meg and Charles's with Meg and Charles's older brothers, twin brothers, Sandy and Dennis. Okay, so they interrupt their father's experiment and they're thrown through like space and time. They go back in time, way back, to the time of Noah and his ark.
Oh, that's pretty far back.
Yeah. Now this goes into like what's happening before Noah is building his ark and all that's going on, and it's really hard to explain, but it's very interesting to just think about these things back in like those times.
Yeah.
So this is like where
taking like present people and dropping them back in that time.
Present people dropping them back in that time. Just what you just said.
Yeah. Repeat it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is how she blends kind of like religion in here too, and it's really cool.
So that reminds me of another kid's book. That was the reader that kind of got my daughter first started into reading. It was the Magic Treehouse series, and the kids would go up into the Magic Treehouse, and it would take them back in time to wherever, and they would like explore Egyptian pyramids or something like that for one book, and something else for another book, dinosaurs, another book. So it kind of reminds me of that.
It's a great way to learn.
Yeah.
All right, so the last book in the series is called An Acceptable Time. Now, this is about a completely different character, but this is a character in another series that this author writes.
Okay.
So there is some overlap. But this also has to deal with time travel, and she goes back 3,000 years to a time and to a people that believe in human sacrifice, and she pretty much has to, like, find a way to escape.
Wow.
Riveting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So other than the first one, which obviously you said you liked the best, now I'm going to challenge you. Of the other four, did you have a favorite of the other four?
Yes, I think I'm gonna go with Many Waters, the one that went back in time to Noah's Ark time.
Okay.
I just thought that was so different. I was not expecting that, had no idea where she was going, and then I was just so surprised that it was in that time, and it was really cool.
Awesome. So I'm definitely putting these on my TBR. I
Yeah?
intend to read them. It's just the TBR is so long, man.
I know it gets so long, but you could borrow them. They're right here. They're
I
right
can.
in front of your face.
You're right. I really can.
Present
Maybe
time.
I will.
Be present, Mary.
All right, I'll be present. I'll take them, bud.
All right, cool. Well, if you're enjoying Bookbuds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Bookbuds!
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.
Okay.
Do you want me to introduce this?
Sure. Say that Joe's going to do a book blast of the Time Quintet series.
Okay. Joe's going to do a book blast of the Time Quintet series. He's like, Mary, you can't even speak one sentence. Joe's going to do a book blast of the Time Quintet. I don't think I can say it. Quintet.
The Time Quintet.
The Time Quintet. 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 No.
Tet. Like tit, but tet.
It's not like tit. It's that. Quintet
Right,
series.
then you'll say quintet.
We're going to do a book blast of the Time Quintet. Quintet. No.
Quintet. Like sextet. Quintet.
Quintet.
Quadruplet.
We'll see what happens. It might not come out and you might have to do it.